Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Katelyn, and today I thought I'd do kind of, a pretty cute little piece for Valentine's Day. I know a lot of people do like my boyfriend, girlfriend, let's do a couples piece together, or different things like that. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna do, I guess you could call it my whole little family. So I did a piece with myself, Josh, and my 2 dogs, and I realized, just to preface real quick, I forgot our snake. We have a red-tailed Colombian boa, and I forgot to include him in this piece. So you can just imagine him somewhere. I'll include like a little picture of him so then you guys can at least see what our snake looks like, even though I didn't draw him. But I thought I'd share, I guess, a little bit more about myself and how I got our dogs and all that. So just a little fun, informative video again, just kind of like a Q&A. So I'll first start with Coda. He's the one that I'm holding. He's our big butt. He's a bit of a temperamental little dog. He has his quirks and can be a little bit of, I guess you could call it a tsundere. He wants attention and love, but then if you give him too much, then he doesn't want it, and he's basically a cat in a dog's body. But yeah, he's the first dog I've ever owned. When I was younger, I was allergic to dogs and cats and birds, so I didn't really get to have many animals growing up. I did have a tortoise, and we called him Mr. Turtle, but then we found out it was a Mrs. Turtle, even though I think it was like a desert ridgeback tortoise. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up again. Or it was a Russian. I don't remember which one. It was for sure a desert tortoise, but that's all I could have was reptiles or anything without fur or feathers. But recently I actually had my dog allergy cured, probably it was 2 years ago. It was when we first got Coda. It was when I had my dog allergy cured. So I was really excited about getting a dog and being able to pet dogs and not have any problems with it anymore, because my allergies basically are, I break out in hives everywhere, my eyes start closing, my throat would close up. I still get that way with cats, but now I can take like Zyrtec and be fine, thank goodness. But it used to be no allergy pills would work, nothing would work, and I would just be miserable. And it was really sad because I've always loved animals. I still really like cats, but that allergy has never been able to get fixed. When I got my dog allergy fixed, I'm like, man, I really want a puppy, because I want to experience raising a dog from being a puppy all the way up to adulthood. And so for I don't know how many months, I kept looking on a bunch of sale sites for little puppies, and we finally saw Coda. And the problem was the breeders here in Arizona, the Shiba breeders, they were on pause for the year. And I was like, man, I really want one. Can we just find one somewhere? And we actually found him out in San Diego, which is not too far of a drive. It's about a 4 to 5 hour drive. Yeah, closer to 5 to 6. A 5 to 6 hour drive. So we drove out and picked him up as a little puppy, and we named him Coda because he looks like a little bear when we got him as a puppy, and he's still pretty big and husky and powerful, so it still fits his name. But Coda was the young bear from Brother Bear, the movie, and so we thought it was pretty fitting since he looked like a little bear cub puppy thing. So we had him since, I think he was 4 months old when we got him. I think, yeah, somewhere in that range. He was still pretty little, but we raised him from puppy, and now he's a little over 2 years and still a temperamental little butt, but we're slowly training him and he's getting better. But yeah, so that's Coda. And then for Elsa, she doesn't have as long of a story, but Coda is a very hyper dog. Most Shibas actually are, and we just couldn't keep up with his energy, and he would continuously get pretty agitated, and he would be up until late hours. He still has a couple days like that, but it's not as much. It used to be like weeks at a time. He'd be up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then Josh and I would have to get up for work the next day at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and it was awful. It was just awful. So we're like, okay, we know we're kind of taking a gamble, but let's try getting another dog. Maybe that will help, like, calm him down, and he'll have energy to kill with this dog, and it'll be good. It'll be good. So we kind of just took a gamble and we got Elsa. I was looking on some of the adoption forums because we wanted one that was around Coda's age, about 2. And we actually found her pretty quickly. And I was like, oh my gosh, Josh, she's in Surprise. She's like an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. It's not in another state. It's good. Let's just go check her out. And I'm so happy we did, because she is one of the cuddliest, sweetest dogs I've ever met. She gets excited with any person that walks through the door and is like instant best friends with everyone who comes over, which is good because Coda either likes you or he's hesitant or he avoids you. So now I'm like, all right, we have the one dog who's like shy and doesn't like interacting with a lot of people all the time and wasn't a lap dog or anything. And now we have Elsa, who's this cuddle monster. And it's a good balance because there's some days where I'm like, okay, yeah, you can give me space dogs and Coda's okay with it. Or like, I need to cuddle an animal right now and Elsa will gladly cuddle. And she's just a sweetheart. I love her to death. But it was really great that we got her. That they really have mellowed each other out. We've had a couple problems with them here and there just because it's hard raising Shibas. They're pretty headstrong dogs, and they're a little bit of a handful, but now we're finally getting some training regiments, and they're getting along swimmingly, and it's really nice. They're starting to get a lot better. But they mellow each other out, they play with each other, and they keep each other company, which is nice. So now we don't have raging, energy-filled Coda all the time, and he has a playmate and a friend to have. And we don't really leave him alone too often, but if we had to, now he has a friend and doesn't have to be by himself. So that's always nice. And then, I guess I can tell you a little bit about my snake. I think we've had him for about a year. We haven't really given him a name. We've gone between a couple, like we thought about Onyx or Mr. Snake. Super original and totally works. But we got him probably about a year ago because Petco was actually having this huge sale on snakes and tanks and all that. And I've always wanted a snake, and I love reptiles, and Josh does too. So we're like, you know what, whatever. Let's just get a snake. And we got a snake. And now we have a snake. And it's actually a super mellow one. He hasn't bit us or anything. Like, there was an accidental bite with like a feeding thing. But he's a super chill and mellow snake. He's really cool. And he actually likes, I mean, I can say he likes being held, but I mean, he doesn't mind being held and taken out of the cage and all that, so he's pretty cool. So I covered all of my animals for the most part, but I'll tell you a little bit about how, I guess, Josh and I met and kind of our relationship, so if you guys could just bear through it, I'm just gonna get into some wishy-gushy stuff. So actually, Josh and I met in high school. When I came in as a freshman, he was a junior, and I was looking around for different clubs to join in high school, and I happened upon the robotics club booth, and he was there manning the booth, and I kind of had a pretty big crush on him straight from then. And I had a lot of fun hanging out with him and being in robotics and doing all that. It was a really fun club, and I mean, any excuse to hang out with him was great. So that's where I met him, and we actually had a class together. I think it was my sophomore year. Yeah, we had a history class together because he had to make up for one of his classes. So we had history class together and just hung out a lot and shared a lot of friends. So we were all hanging out in the same social groups and stuff. But I was actually the one who asked him out. So my sophomore year, there was what's called a Sadie Hawkins dance. And for those of you who don't know, that dance is specifically for girls ask the guys out to the dance instead of the other way around. So I mustered up the courage to go ask him. And luckily he said yes. We went to the dance and had a lot of fun, and actually my parents made me come home early from that dance, and I was really upset with them. And yeah, so it was a fun dance, and then I think about 2 weeks later, we started dating, and we've been together ever since. And that sounds super gushy and romantic and stuff, and I'm just prefacing now, it doesn't happen often that people meet each other in high school and fall in love. So we're kind of the weird anomaly within the friend group. I think Dustin and Amber also met in high school, but that's about it. They're the only other couple that I know that met in high school. Well, no, that's a lie. I know a couple other couples, but it's not frequent. So yeah, we've been together since my sophomore year of high school, and that makes, I think, 9 years coming up here in February. Yeah, our dating anniversary is February 19th. And I think it is 9 years. Holy crap. We're almost on to 10 years. So 9 years together and 2 years married. Well, it will be 3 years married in July. Holy crap. Man, the time is going by fast. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. But that's just kind of a little insight into Josh and I and how we met. And I think that will actually wrap up this video. I think I'm getting really close to finishing the art. So there's Josh on the left. He's holding Elsa and I'm holding Coda. And I had a lot of fun with this, and sorry to force some wishy gushy stuff on you guys, but I really wanted to do a cute piece for Valentine's Day. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have new videos every week. And I'd love to hear if you guys did anything fun on Valentine's Day. Anything from going out on a date with your significant other to staying in and watching Netflix and eating ice cream. Anything is acceptable. I would just love to hear what you guys did. And yeah, I guess that's it. But thanks again, guys, for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.